Good morning everybody, it's Lionheart84 here. It's Sunday the 21st of April, so it's Easter Sunday. Happy Easter everybody, if should you be following that kind of religion. It's been 1 month since my March garden diary update and 1 week since the frost damage report that I did, so I thought it was time to do my April update and also look at how the weather has changed in 1 week. Just goes to show the English climate is as crazy as the rest of the world. 1 week ago we had nighttime temperatures of 32 to 35 Fahrenheit, that's sort of 0 to 1 degree centigrade, and now 1 week later the temperature is about 75 degrees. I guess that's about 22, 23 centigrade. So I thought we'd have a look and see if there's been any development in any of the plants in the last month and what's happened to the frost damage. So I thought we'd have a look and see what's been happening here. There's no growth showing on the American persimmons yet, they're still completely dormant. This is my Asian pear Shinziki. It's finished flowering now, no damage whatsoever from the frost last week, and obviously revelling in the sunshine. The figs completely undamaged by the frost last week, and now they seem to be fully coming out of dormancy. Plenty of Braber figs on the English brown turkey. In fact, most of the trees have got some sign of Brabers on them there. Yeah, plenty of new growth coming out here. There's a little bit of signs of buds coming out on some of the persimmons that are dormant. That's a mountain Gova. That'd be one of the hybrid ones. They seem to be late coming out into growth. I'm particularly excited with my pawpaw. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see this on the video, but the flowers are virtually open. Now when I got these, I'd read a lot of reports that a lot of people said that pawpaws take sort of 5 to 6 years to flower from planting. Well, this is a 3-year-old grafted pawpaw, and I think the variety is Prima, and it's probably got about 8 or 10 flowers on it, so I'm really excited to see some flowers because they're very, very pretty and unusual looking flowers. I mean, obviously not going to get any fruits on it, that goes without saying, but I'm not too worried about that anyway. This is my Moldovan pink mulberry. Now, this took a little bit of a bad hit with the frost. There was some green buds on it and they've virtually all disappeared, but pleased to say there's still some signs of life there, so I think as long as I keep it well watered we'll be okay on this one. The only fig that I've got planted in the garden is a Rouge de Bordeaux, which I put in last year. That's shooting out nicely now. Behind it I've got my pomegranate, which let me walk around and see if I can show it from the other side. It's beautiful, sort of reddish pink growth on the new growth. Fabulous tree, this one. I found it on eBay actually. It's from Cyprus. The family bought it with them some years ago, but of course I've got no idea what variety it is, but it seems to be doing very, very well here. Stems obviously a good size, and I've got that in a very large container, so we'll see how that does this year. Let's have a quick look around the rest of the garden. You can see I've cut the grass, so I'm doing some maintenance at the moment. This is another pawpaw. This is an unnamed variety. It's budding out nicely. No flower buds on this one at all, but that's no problems. It's probably a seedling anyway and it might not produce fruits. No problem with the pineapple guava. It's not really growing yet. It's my Australian bottle brush callistemon, should be flowering soon. No fruits to come from that. That's my trumpet vine. That's a campsis. That's leafing out nicely, so I'm looking forward to flowers on that in June or July. This is my other seedling unnamed variety pomegranate that's growing as a bush in the ground. That's leafing out nicely, and behind it is a very small pawpaw, and that's I think that variety is sunflower, and that's only Oh, I think it's a 2-year-old grafted plant, and even that has got one flower bud on it, amazingly. But I think it's got two. I think there's another one hidden there that I can't see at the moment. I'm sure I saw two on it the other day. Certainly one, which is pretty good for a first year. There's my that again is a seedling persimmon, not a named variety. Didn't get any frost damage at all. My large pineapple guava, or acker, or fijoa, or fijoa, depending on how you prefer to pronounce it. Blueberries in full flower, plenty of bees around them, so I'm guessing we're going to be getting a reasonable crop of blueberries here if I can keep the birds off it. Another fijoa, I think that variety is Triumph. More blueberries. This is the my Chinese gooseberry Actinidia Issai. That's a self-fertile one. Obviously had a fair bit of frost damage last week, but there's a large amount of growth that wasn't touched, to be honest, and that's recovering very quickly, and hopefully that will be the last frosts we'll see this year. Here's my little lemon, uncovered now. That's Myers lemon, that one. Still got a lemon on it that it's had on it all winter. I guess I should cut that and use that. No point leaving it on the plant. It's looking a little bit yellow, so I think I'll have to feed that with some iron or sequestrine or something like that. Perhaps Epsom salts. This was my other recent purchase. This was an Asian pear. This is Hong Li. Now this one did take a fair bit of damage during the when we had that frost last week. There were a lot of young growths like that which simply got burnt off. The 2 or 3 shoots at the top luckily weren't damaged, so that should be that's a good sign that I'll make a full recovery. Now my other mulberry is an Illinois everbearing. Sorry about the sun glare on the camera, by the way. And this one wasn't touched by the frost at all. As you can see, lots of buds coming out, so I'm looking forward to plenty of growth on that this year. Put it in a reasonable size container, see what happens. This is a persimmon Zukis, which I think's one of the American ones that's coming out into buds. They seem to be a lot later budding out, the American persimmons and the hybrid varieties. The Asian ones are far earlier. I managed to get my strawberry tower potted up last weekend, so we should get some strawberries in that. There's flowers out already. At last, finally getting signs of growth on my jujube, Chinese date. They're very late to come out, but it does mean they don't really suffer any risk of frost damage. My chocolate vines haven't been affected by the frost at all. That's a kiwi quinata, and I've got two different cultivars of that, so hopefully in the next year or so I'll get some fruit on that one. And this is the first American persimmon that's really budding out nicely. This is a Garrettson. Leaves seem to be a little bit different on the American persimmons to the Asian ones. This is a Hanafuyu. Okay, well this is my Giro. This is one of the ones that did suffer a little bit of frost damage last week, but seems to have made pretty much a full recovery. Can't see any problems apart from the few leaves that got burnt by the frost. It's looking okay now. Tipo, relatively undamaged by the frost. There's another fig behind there that's doing nicely. Or the sun's making it hard to film. That's a Rojo Brillant. Seems to have had no problems with the frost. Now this one here is a Proc, which I believe is an American persimmon, and it is surprising. The leaves are very different to the Asian varieties. It's the first one that's been out in full leaf. I'm sure it's maybe it's an Asian one. Someone will correct me. I think it was an American one, but it could be Asian. It's supposed to be very hardy. Behind it I've got a Fuyu. Wasn't touched by the frost at all. It's doing very nicely. And the one in front here is Tam Cam. Again, I think it's another Asian one. My Chocolatino seems to be coming out into full leaf. no real problems there. And behind it is another pomegranate, which I think is Elche de Molar. And my final persimmon, looking a bit the worse for wear, is Nikita's Gift. That's a hybrid. Now, not too keen on the leaves on this. These look as if they might have a virus in. Of course, the problem when you buy these plants off a plant nursery and they're dormant, you don't always know what you're going to get when they come out into leaf. But I don't think it's too wet, I don't think it's too dry, I don't think it's damaged by the cold, but it's certainly got curling leaves. They do have mottling discoloration on them, so I guess I'll just have to see what happens. But as I said, it's very, very warm today. It's at least 75 degrees. Gladioli doing well in my small pots. Just had to spray. This is a guava stone ruby. Just had to spray it. This has got a lot of mealybug on it. Seem to like the guavas, but hopefully once I get it outside for the summer and pot it up, they'll disappear anyway. Well, that's my April report. It's about a month since the last one. I don't think the weather's going to stay like this, but it's nice to get a little bit of sunshine. And thank you very much for anybody who happens to be watching, and I hope you've been all going to enjoy your Easter Sunday, even if you're watching this a few months later, a bit belated. I'm going to go and have some chocolate Easter eggs in a short while. Enjoy your day and your weekend wherever you are, and I hope the weather's favouring you as well. Thanks for watching. Please click and subscribe if you're interested. Thank you. Bye.